First mistake: doing nice things constantly and regularly. For example, buying gifts every month, every special day. Although it may seem romantic at first, over time it becomes a chore. And one day, when you fail to do it, all the nice things you did before can suddenly be forgotten. That's why it's much more effective to do nice things not constantly, but at varying intervals. Less is always more valuable. Second mistake: going into detail about past relationships. Ex-lovers, experiences, places visited, special moments. Here's the interesting part. While listening to these details, the other person appears incredibly understanding, mature, and curious. They ask, "Really? And then what happened?" But don't be fooled by this appearance, because these details will inevitably come up somewhere down the line. Whether you're a man or a woman, details about past relationships often lead to serious problems. Of course, important things aren't hidden. Things that need to be known, like divorce or breaking off an engagement, are disclosed. But the details add nothing to the relationship. Third mistake: sharing your problems in the wrong way. There's a saying: share your problems with your wife, and you'll have to deal with both your wife and your problems. This generalization doesn't apply to everyone. Some women are genuinely supportive, while others can become a burden. The issue here is not gender, but personality. But this is important. Your partner is not your psychologist. Piling every burden and every worry on them wears down the relationship. Fourth mistake: excessive self-sacrifice. A relationship certainly requires sacrifice, but if this sacrifice starts to take away from your own life, that's when problems begin. Wherever there is excessive self-sacrifice, the other person will eventually come to see it as their right. And it is usually the person making the sacrifice who pays the price. This applies not only to male-female relationships, but to all relationships. Fifth mistake: trying too hard not to make mistakes. This is especially common in men who are new to relationships. The fear of losing her sets in. He becomes someone completely different, more romantic, more attentive, more perfect. But the truth is, people eventually become themselves. And when the initially presented perfect character collapses, it causes great disappointment in the other person. It's normal to appear a little better at the beginning of a relationship, but acting like someone you're not leads to big problems later on. Sixth mistake: living the relationship like a chore. We have to do this, we have to buy that, we have to go there. After a while, you don't enjoy anything you do. You only do it because you have to. Constantly doing things you don't want to do to please the other person leads to inner and spiritual decay. The seventh mistake: cutting yourself off from your entire social circle because your partner wants you to. Giving up your friends, your work circle, your social life. This sends the following message to the other person: I do whatever I want. And the demands usually don't stop there. They increase. It is especially important not to give up your friendships at the beginning of a relationship. Eighth mistake: ignoring annoying behaviors. Keeping quiet so there won't be any problems now. But then one day when you bring it up, you'll be met with this question: why didn't you say something from the start? Speaking up about things that bother you early on can save the relationship. Keeping quiet usually makes the problem worse. And finally, too much of anything diminishes its value. Compliments, gifts, apologies. Compliments should be measured. Apologies should be made when necessary. Apologizing too often unconsciously gives the other person a sense of superiority. This upsets the balance in the relationship. If you're watching this video as a woman, does what I'm saying sound familiar to you? If you're watching as a man, what other mistakes do you think people make in relationships? Be kind to yourself. See you soon.